japa, as we say. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Georgina Okakoso, and if you're just seeing this beautiful face on your screen for the very first time, you're highly welcome. If you're a regular, a returning subscriber, thank you guys for always coming back and watching my videos. And if you do not mind, please do smash that like button and subscribe to this channel. My channel basically is about lifestyle, fashion, travel, vlogs, and reaction videos. And if you have seen from my previous videos, you would have noticed that I recently relocated to the United Kingdom, the UK, through the Tier 4 visa, which is the student visa. I'm currently studying MSc in the University of Bradford, MSc FinTech in the University of Bradford. Basically today I've had a couple of questions on the process, the costs, and what you should do basically when you get into the UK. So I'm going to be doing a series, a 3-part series. The first series will be about the process of coming to the UK, the documents you need, and the step-by-step stages you need to do, to arrive here in the UK. The second video will be about the costs of all the things that you need to put in place to come to the UK. And the third video will be about the first set of documentations you need to get ready immediately you get into the UK. You don't want to get in here and be stuck because, every day that you sit down, you're supposed to be earning, and every day, every hour, you're supposed to be earning at least some pounds. So you want to make sure you have all the proper documentation to make sure you get in, so that you get started as soon as possible and get better integrated with the community, the society, your school, and then, get your life back together immediately. So without further ado, let's get into the first video of today. As usual, I have my YouTube book here with me because there's a bunch of things I've written down. I did all this yesterday basically, so that I don't miss anything at all, and I ensure to give you guys every single information. Now, if I do not cover anything in this video, please do feel free to drop them in the comment section. I'll be glad to either answer your questions or make a new video that will cover extensively what you need to know. So basically, I'm starting today's video with the process of coming to the UK. How do you start using Tier 4 visa as a student? How do you start this process? First things first. Now I'm going to dive right into the different steps. So let's get right into the video. The first thing that you need to do basically is choosing a course. So I would start by saying, you know where you are right now, what you studied in BSc. My advice would be not to go too far from what you're used to. Don't just, maybe you were doing, how will I put it? If you were in science and you chose to jump to art, for example, or you're in art and you chose to jump to science. I'm not saying it cannot be done, but if you're going to be doing a master's program, obviously that a lot of things will not be touched at the foundation. They expect that you will have prior knowledge of this course or what it's about. So because you want to ensure that you come here and actually get something good, merit or distinction, which is the prayer. You don't want to come here and just live with a pass, because you're going to spend a lot of money getting this process done. So you want to ensure that you come out with something good. So choosing a course, I would say you should look at where you are coming from. For example, I am a chartered accountant in Nigeria. I read accounting as my BSc. My BSc program, I did accounting, and the course I'm doing right now is related because it has a finance background. So I'm currently studying financial technology, which is fintech, and a couple of the modules I've been doing basically touch on accounting and finance, corporate finance, international finance. So I have a foundation already. So when these lectures are going on, I'm not totally clueless because I have already had previous foundation. I think it's better you do something that you have prior knowledge with, or practical skills at, not only that you studied in school. If you also have practically worked in this field of study, I think you can also do that. So that's about choosing the course. Now, the next thing you should look at is the school. Then Google is your best friend. You go to Google and find out schools that offer the course that you want, the program that you want to take, schools that actually offer that. The next thing is to look for the school. And I'm going to share with you guys a few things you should look at, which I didn't really look at. I looked at a few, but not others until I got here. Then I knew that, okay, I should have searched this and this. But yeah, I'm giving you the tea already, so you don't need to do that. This is the essence of watching this video. You learn from my mistakes, my experience, make your own process smoother and a bit easier. So the first thing I think you should look at is fees. The fees that you know you can pay, is it affordable for you? Do you think you can pay those fees? You look for a school that has your course first, then you look at the fees and the length of the program. Is it a 1-year course? Is it a 2-year course? Another thing you should look at is the deposit payment that you need to make, the initial deposit you need to make to get your visa out. Some schools pay 1,000, some schools pay 2,000, and this is pounds though, and some schools take 4,000. Another thing after looking at the deposit is the payment plan for the balanced fees that is supposed to be paid. Some schools have up to 6 to 7 payment plans, some schools have just 2, some schools have 3, some schools have 4. So you have to look at something that works for you. Then you have to also look at the cost of living in the community that you're coming to. Some places are kind of urban and some places are rural, right? Coming down to the Nigerian level. So you have cities and you have countrysides. So the cities basically, the advantages will be there may be more job opportunities there, and more room for networking, more opportunities basically. But the downsides to it, what you should also look at is cost of living, the cost of getting an accommodation, your rent that you'll be paying, utilities, and the commute, transport system around whatever city or state you choose to go to in the UK. So that's something that you need to look at when it comes to the school. I think that's about it. When it comes to school, these are a few things you should look at before you choose the school you want to go to, even if they offer the course that you want. Now, the next thing we'll dive right into is the application process, right? Application. After choosing the school, you've gone through all these items like fees, the initial deposit, the payment plan, the cost of rent and commute, and cost of living in that particular environment where the school is, or the particular county. The next thing for you to look at is applying to the school. Now you go to their website and you see the application process. I'm just going to run through because I can't speak to all schools. So I'm just going to run through a list of documents that generally all schools will need, but you can find out directly from the website of the school that you're going to. So what you definitely need is your international passport. You need your personal statement, writing a personal statement. If you guys want me to do a special video for tips on writing personal statement, do let me know in the comment section, drop them there, and I'll be glad to make another video telling you the things to look out for writing your personal statement. You need your university certificate. Some schools actually ask for transcripts, so you have to confirm that. My school didn't ask for transcript though. I just submitted my university certificate. Then you need your WAEC or NECO, that's proof of secondary school education, WAEC or NECO. Then you need reference letters, academic reference letter from your university, and also professional, maybe from your company that you're working at or somebody you've worked with. Then you also need to upload your CV. I think why it's also important for you to give them your CV, for example, is just to show, for example, those that haven't that have a gap of about 7 to 10 years, meaning you did your BSc in you finished your BSc in 2010, right? And in 2020 you want to come and do your masters. You need to show them what you've been doing in this gap of 10 years and how it sinks into why the course you want to study and why they should give you that course of study in their school. I think in the university, I think it helps to better buttress your points and will make your application a little bit easier. Once you have applied, then the waiting game starts. You basically will have to wait until they get back to you. Now I'm going to let you know what next to do. Once you get your offer letter from the school, right, there are some conditions that will be stated there for you to move on to the next, for it to be an unconditional offer. So what happens most times is that they give you a conditional offer and ask you to either bring extra documentation or pay the initial deposit. Now you have to make payments of the initial deposit. It depends on the school. Some pay £1,000, £2,000, £4,000. It depends on the school. So you have to find when you get your offer letter, those things will be stated there. Once you've done that, the next thing you need to do is your TB test. Tuberculosis test is done in Lagos and it's done in Abuja. In my next video, I'll cover up the cost for all these things that I'm listing here. So the next thing you need to do is your tuberculosis test, and it lasts for about 6 months. So you have to ensure that you travel within the time within this period, so it doesn't expire while you're still in Nigeria or in your country before you head out. After your TB test, at this point, you should have had your proof of fund in your account for about 28 to 30 days baking, like getting matured, right? Because immediately you get the bank statements, you send it to the school, meaning that you have your proof of fund, right? So let me break it down. What this proof of fund consists of is your living expenses, which can be confirmed on the UK website. If I can find it, I'll put it in the comments, in the description box down here. You put your living expense and the balance of your fees. Now, for example, the living expense for 9 months when I left was about £9,207, and my balance fees was about 10,600 and something. So I add that together, that's about 19,800 and something pounds, and you have to convert that using the Rwanda rate. I'm going to put it up here. You have to convert that to naira using all your currency in whatever African country or country that you are. You have to convert that using the Rwanda rate, which will help you know the amount of naira that you need to put in your account for this long. Now, if your fees, for example, let's just be practical. If your fees, for example, is 17,000 pounds, your proof of fund would be, for example, and you have to pay a deposit of 2,000 pounds, right? So you have 15,000 left as your balance fees, and you have to add that to the 9,207 pounds. Quick maths, I'm going to put it up here. You have to add that, and whatever that comes to, you convert using the Rwanda rate. So that covers your proof of fund. Ensure that this has stayed in your account for about 28 days, and when you are done, you send your bank statement to the school, proving that you've had this money for X amount of time in your account. Now, once you're done, you send your TB test and your matured bank statement to the school. After this stage, some schools normally do like what they call an interview, right? Why they call it CAS interview? Why some do not before they give you the CAS? So that's certificate of acceptance, right? Some schools do interview, some schools do not. My school, Bradford University, did an interview, like a mock interview. So it's basically trying to prepare you for a situation where if the embassy calls you to interview, you're basically trying to prepare you for that interview. That's the essence why they give like an interview. So if you're coming to Bradford University, for example, and you want a detailed video as to the kind of questions to expect for your precast interview, then you can let me know in the comment section. I'll prepare a special video for you guys on that. So after that, another thing, after the interview, you submit the documents and you do your interview. You have to also wait. So that's sometimes it takes within 24 hours plus. Some people get it same day, some people get it the next day, and X and X. So it's a waiting game, and I think it has to depend on the period and the number of students they are dealing with at that point in time. After that, the next thing that you need to do is apply for your visa. Once you get your CAS, you are done with the school part of the application. Now is here heading to the visa application itself. So the next thing for you to do is apply for your visa. I'm just going to run through a couple of documents that you need to apply for your visa. So definitely you need your CAS statement from the school. In the CAS statement, there are some documents that the school must have asked you to provide. Most of them would be your BSc. Some also ask for either your NECO or WAEC, but mine was just the BSc. So your CAS statement from the school, your university certificate, your TB test, international passport, most definitely. Your bank statement, that should be at least 30 days, right? You can use the same bank statement, just print an updated one. If you use 28 days for your CAS application with the school, you can just print another one that is up to 30 days, and then you can add that to your visa application. Then you need reference letters from work for those that have had like a gap, as I said, an education gap between when you finish their BSc and when you're trying to take their masters. You can also put as much information. So another thing here is to put as much information as you can, so that they don't come back to you for things that you should have just put in place. Because once you have a situation where they write to you, they call it an NSF mail. I got that mail too. So once you have that, it's like your application gets stalled. So you have to send back everything they've requested for, and then back to them, and before they pick up your application and start going ahead with it. So if you don't want that break in transmission, you don't want that gap, I think you should put as much documents as you can, just to prove any above or beyond reasonable doubt that you worked for this period. The course will just help make the story easier and make it flow for them. I think that's it. So let me run the list from the top again. So your CAS statement, your university certificate, your TB test certificate, international passport, your bank statement for at least 30 days before the application, your reference letters from work. Then I think that's basically it. When you're applying, you can either choose to upload these documents yourself, or there's a self-service, and there's an assist service that you can do at the embassy, but you have to pay for it basically. So my documents were uploaded directly from the website, so I didn't need to pay for assisted service at the embassy. Then you can also choose between priority service and standard service. Priority service takes about 5 working days, so they said. and the visa and the standard service takes about 15 working days. But this might not be the case. Personally, for me, I paid for priority service, but it was a time when there was so much there was a lot of rush in the embassy. I paid for 5 working days, and guess how long my visa took to come out? 30 days. 30 days of waiting. I'm going to I think that's basically that for the visa application. Then another waiting game starts. As I said, I waited for 30 days. After this, the next thing that happens is, in this waiting time, you can start packing your stuff, getting items, because we already believe, fingers crossed that you're getting that visa, so there's no need for you to you need to start acting in that way. You need to start working with faith. You need to start getting things in place. So the next thing for you to do is to start packing your stuff, saying your goodbyes, seeing all your friends. An advice that I would give is, before coming to the UK, ensure that you have secured an accommodation. Either you're going to stay in somebody's place, or you get an Airbnb or something like that. If you have any questions on that, you can just drop them in the comment section. Definitely that 24 hours before you leave, within the time you're going to leave, you're supposed to do COVID test in Nigeria. You already know, we're in COVID season, so you have to do COVID test in Nigeria before you head out. Ensure to check the guidelines on the UK website before leaving, and also Nigeria's website, to see that you are in the right place. You don't want to get to the airport and they tell you, oh no, you would have done this, or you would have done that, and that could mess you up, after booking your flight and all that. Then after doing your, once you get your visa, glory to God, the visa offices are in VI, in Ikeja, and also in Abuja. So you have to choose and pick which one works for you. VI comes at an extra cost of, I'll put the cost in my next video. But if you're going to go with VI has an extra cost. So just bear that in mind. So once you're done with that, you've got your visa, then you book your tickets. Book your tickets, secure an accommodation here in the UK, ensure you have somewhere to stay, make you get in, you don't want to be trapped. Some schools offer transport services, like Bradford offers pick-up services from the airport down to the school environment where your accommodation is going to be. I don't know, I think a lot of schools do that. So you have to maybe write to your school and see if they offer that service, so that could save you a lot when it comes to transport, at least, and just give you that soft landing when you come in, because there may be a lot of confusion. Where do I go to get a bus? How do I get a train, get in a taxi? Everything is really expensive. So that's basically on this first series. I did it this way so that the video is not too long. In the next video, I'm going to share with you the costs of all these items that I've listed down. We're going to do a little plus and minus, some calculations. And feel free to ask me any questions that you guys have. Feel free to share this video with your friends and family. A lot of people are wanting to, japa, as we say. So feel free to share this video with your friends and family. And subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Smash that like button, because I know you like it. And subscribe to this channel. And until my next video, I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.